Chapter 4, The Talking Point, Bhavna Raja. Welcome viewers, I welcome you all. I'm just waiting for Bhavna to join the conversation so that we can right away start it. Let me just call her up so that we can start without much delay. Yes, ma'am. Can you get online so that I can add you as a participant? Yes. All right. Okay, we have Bhavna ma'am with us. Enter the request. I'm just waiting for her to join. It's showing unable to join. Yeah.
Okay, Nashi is there. Yeah, thank you. Am I audible?
Hi.
Am I audible?
Yes. Tell me.
Yeah.
Yes, you are audible. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, we are perfect. So without much ado, let me start. Yeah. Okay. Hello and welcome dear viewers to the fourth chapter of The Talking Point, wherein I talk with experts representing various professions. Now dear friends, humans are programmed with numerous emotions and feelings which make them stand out in the entire ecosystem compared to other species. With these emotions, we humans tend to communicate with one another for various purposes. But as the time is advancing and the means of communications are evolving, there is a severe lack, or you can say the crisis in terms of emotions. The humans are becoming less and less emotionally expressive and introvert. This poses real danger to all the human beings' emotional and mental health. So I have many such questions in this context. For the answers, I have with me Bhavna Raja, who is a psychologist and runs a healing center under the name of Urja Counseling Center. So without much ado, let me welcome the lady herself. Hi Bhavna, welcome with us on live.
Hi, Jaivi. Thanks for having me online and thanks for connecting the topic. I mean, it was very impressive to know that how you're trying to connect the financial needs and financial issues with mental health issues that people are going through nowadays. Thanks a lot for having me and calling me.
That's completely our pleasure, me as a host and my viewers. Definitely we will benefit from your insights. So without much ado, please tell us about yourself and Urja Counseling Center, and we would like to hear it from you directly.
So basically, I am a mental health professional. I have been working in this field since last 12 years. And I own two centers. One is a child
Right.
development center where we cater to children with special needs, ranging from mental retardation to learning difficulty, everything and anything in between. And the other center of mine is for adults, which is an Urja
Okay.
Counseling Center, wherein I work as a therapist and I have couple of therapists under me. So wherein I really practice proper psychotherapy sessions, again dealing with severe issues like anxiety, depression, schizophrenia, to milder issues like psychological development or mental health enhancement or anything and everything in between this range. So my work is more on the clinical area, but I do enjoy working on the developmental workshops. So we do conduct a lot of workshops for people which are just generally for their mental health development. So that's how I've been working in this industry since last 12 years. And I think it's ever evolving. I'm ever learning. In fact, before joining this session, I was under one training session which I had to attend with one of my seniors. So
Oh wow, that's
how
thank you
psychology
for sparing out.
works.
Thank you for sparing your precious time. So let me just begin with my first topic, which is impact of COVID crisis on psychological wellness. So in that direction, my first question comes is that this pandemic has caused or wrecked the lives of majority of people, and there is a tremendous disruption in terms of activities of human beings. So how is one required to deal with this scenario?
See, basically, I feel that things have not changed drastically. Like, if you go to see, our 60% of the day routine is quite similar to what it used to be, except for our work area, which has changed. So, of course, a lot of people are able to manage their work online as well. So, again, I see that after the unlock happened, work has also again started. It might
Right.
not be at the same pace, but it has started. So again, if you see, there is just a difference of around 20 or 30% of our schedule is slightly disrupted. Otherwise, our routine, our day goes the same way. Like, people are working out more, they're able to invest more time in themselves, people are able to invest more time in the family. So if you see, we are able to compensate that 20-30% in those areas, which is in a way healthy way to manage.
Right.
Another little thing which I want to advise people, which where I felt that people are facing a lot of issues, is because in initial days there were no routine set. So people were just going haywire because there was no routine to get up in the morning, there was no routine to sleep at night. People gradually started losing their sleep because they were waking up late, they were not having enough physical movement. And lately also, I'm seeing that that is what is bothering people the most, people who are actually under quarantine for 15 days, because there is no physical movement, because there is no mental involvement anywhere. They're not getting tired enough, hence the sleep cycle is getting disturbed as well as the daytime cycle is getting disturbed. So maintaining a routine from morning till night is a very, very essential thing, especially when we know that there is no extrinsic motivation behind. Everything has to be within us, because earlier when we used to go to work, there was a big motivation, big chunk of motivation coming from money.
Right.
Not happening now, unfortunately. So maintaining a routine anyhow, whether you get any reward out of it or no, is a must for any human being. And being a social human being, being into families, we have to maintain it and keep family members as part of it. And especially I see for women, most of the women, in fact, things haven't changed drastically. उनका काम बढ़ ही गया है.
Right.
लाइक घर पे लोग बैठे हैं तो चाय भी दिन में 2 बार बन रही है, अब एक बार की जगह खाना अलग अलग वैरायटी बन रहा है. पीपल आर डूइंग, लाइक, आई मीन, आई सॉ अ लॉट ऑफ मेल्स पार्टिसिपेटिंग इन baking dishes and all, which is very interesting. So I think doing these little bits is distracting us from the real issue as well as keeping us under a structure. And I
Right.
guess that's the nicer way to deal with the current scenario.
That's nice. Definitely, my viewers will take a note of it. Now, coming to a very important question which you mentioned, which you gave a hint in your previous answer, that many businesses and disruptions were at complete halt during the COVID things, and due to which the entire chunk, or you can say a major class, is facing the survival issues. Now, those who are having some, you can say, very cut to cut incomes or revenues to run a household, those things were completely halted. So in such scenarios, how a person is required to maintain his steadiness, and how to mitigate over this?
I do understand that everyone has faced certain difficulties financially, whether that person was earning bare minimum to just survive, to a person who was saving a lot of money, investing a lot of money. So the entire spectrum is facing financial difficulties. But what I understand is that it is a phase, it is not a permanent thing. This is not going to be the adaptability of our life. So of course we have to understand that the environment, the nature, the world has called for our reserves to come out now. Emotional reserves, financial reserves. So a lot of people, I think, who are in a position of giving should be trying to maintain the economy by giving to some people who are needy.
Right.
I understand that paying salaries to their staff where the work is not enough or hardly there is work, but understanding that their houses run because of our income and we have that many reserves that we can maintain that equilibrium. So we have to understand that we have to kind of maintain this equilibrium and maintain the lifestyles of others and maintain our lifestyle as well. So even if we are contributing say 30, 40, 50% to their income, we have to understand that maybe हम शायद हर महीने कुछ डोनेट करते थे या हर साल कुछ डोनेट करते थे, हर साल कुछ CSR एक्टिविटी करते थे, उसको हमें शायद इस साल में ज्यादा करनी पड़ेंगी और फिर वापस 2-3 साल हम नहीं करेंगे तो दैट इक्विलिब्रियम विल बी मेंटेन. So people who are below that poverty line, who will not be able to survive without this little money, I think people who have enough reserves should contribute to this, and people who have enough reserves have to have this faith that this is not going to go on forever. It is a phasic thing, it is a temporary thing.
Right.
No economy is going to shut.
Right.
Maybe for another year we will have these difficulties, but after a year things might roll back to quite normal, because see, खाना पीना कपड़ा ये सब कभी जाने नहीं वाला है लाइफ में से. So maybe next year, next to next year, again they will be able to build those reserves back.
Maybe lost Bhavna ji due to some internet connectivity issue. Let me just see.
I guess Bhavna ji. Sorry for the interruption. Let me just tell her that we have lost your connection. Yeah, she just had there. Sorry for this great interruption.
Yes, we can. Yeah, there was some network crash. Please carry on.
But this is something which I don't know, every time happens with me. I don't know how much ever I keep trying the network. See, I have kept something around me for the network, but it doesn't work.
That's perfectly fine because entire world is on the internet right now, so you are not to be blamed. Please carry on.
So, yeah, that's what. So, if we want to maintain this equilibrium, I think people who have reserves, who have had enough reserves in life, have to have this faith that this is not going to be forever. And even if this crunch is happening for this year, first of all, I want to be practical here. मुझे लगता है बहुत सारे लोगों को लगा कि ठीक है 1 महीने में सब ठीक हो जाएगा, 3 महीने में सब ठीक हो जाएगा. But being into the paramedical industry and being a little with close with the medical industry people, I realized कि वो 1 महीना या 3 महीने का problem नहीं था.
नहीं है.
This was definitely going to take at least a year from our life. So practically शायद 1 साल नहीं बिगड़ेगा, but financially, emotionally ये सब चीजों में से बाहर आते आते we have to have this little longer time which we have to give to the entire problem. So again, if people start having the longer vision, the difficulty might not appear as bad as it is visible, because we human beings are very impulsive. हमको चीजें जल्दी ठीक करनी होती है. हम चाहते हैं कि 2 महीने में 1 महीने में सब कुछ मतलब वापस नॉर्मल हो जाए. Understand that this is not going to get normal so easily and so soon. So give yourself some time and keep some faith and patience within. And whatever you can contribute, in fact, I would say not only remove from your reserve, also start giving to people, and then you can always remake it in the coming years. So I guess that will be a nicer way to maintain this financial crunch that people are going through.
So,
Again,
Bhavna,
we
yes.
don't have knee-jerk reactions. A lot of people have spoken to me, even in my friend circle, of switching their businesses or trying to do something
Right.
new immediately. I don't think these are the solutions that we are looking for right now. The world is looking at some faith with it, and look forward at least after a year, whatever we think we require it. एंड सी ऑनेस्टली मुझे लगता है कि जो लोगों के पास इनफ पैसा है, इतना रिजर्व तो होता है कि हम 3 साल बिना कुछ किए भी सरवाइव कर सकते हैं,
Definitely.
तो हम 1 साल का पेशेंस रख रहे हैं.
So definite, very good tips from Bhavna ji, that stay on course. Right now you are just facing a mild turbulence and it may take up to a year to get things back on track. Also, the best healing you can do is to take care of the ones who are dependent upon you. That will be a very good karmic earnings also for you. Though you may lose certain reserves, but definitely that adds to your good karma. Secondly, it will heal you and the person who is dependent on you. So that's an amazing thought process. I would like to move forward with my next question. Ma'am, definitely psychological health is not so easily accessible for many obvious reasons, which I'll be coming later on. But do you think it is the right time that people start creating some self-help groups or something like that, wherein they can just come over and share?
आई थिंक इट्स अ ब्रिलियंट आइडिया. अगर हम सेल्फ हेल्प ग्रुप्स क्रिएट करेंगे, इफ वी नो पीपल हु आर वर्किंग इन द सेम इंडस्ट्री, if we know people, if हमारे friend circle में if there are people who are sharing the same wavelength, same thoughts, if we have support groups and maybe once in a week, even on the online platform or Zoom का platform या Instagram platform, ऐसे प्लेटफॉर्म पे अगर वो मिलते हैं, कुछ एक दूसरे के साथ शेयर करते हैं, कुछ एक दूसरे की डिफिकल्टी सुनते हैं, बिकॉज अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम्स प्रॉब्लम हर्ड हील्स मच मोर देन द प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व. एंड व्हेन वी नो कि इसका कोई सॉल्यूशन अभी इमीडिएटली दिख नहीं रहा है, तो एटलीस्ट अगर कोई सुन रहा है, दैट मेक्स अ लॉट ऑफ डिफरेंस. सो if you are into the same industry and if together you can share certain experiences, again connecting it to my previous answers, like if you will hear कि किसी ने दूसरे को हेल्प किया इतना, ऑटोमेटिकली चार और लोग उसी से प्रेरणा लेके उसमें और कुछ ज्वाइन करते हैं. So support groups is a brilliant idea, especially if people belong to the same industry, if people belong to the same wavelength. In fact, doing a lot of spiritual activities together or adding some pranayams together is another good way of, keeping yourselves connected with others, and also, trying to contribute little to our mental and spiritual health. So it's a brilliant idea. I totally support this idea. In fact, I am happy to contribute wherever I can.
Wow, that's a nice hand holding from Bhavna ma'am herself. But one thing definitely Bhavna ma'am has given a great quote, is that problem heard is it will heal your problems to a greater extent. So please, my viewers, keep it in mind and start creating certain groups wherein you can just express it out. My next question, ma'am, this COVID has created a challenge for a new thing. The nuclear setup of families has been put to test in this time, because many people were feeling lonely because of lack of elderly or something like that. So I want your insights that whether the joint family system would have prevented the psychological conditions, or would have not make any contribution in such threat, mitigating such threats.
I would take a very neutral approach here, because
Yes,
it's more like to each one its own. Because see, if two people have never gotten along with each other, if they have always had some conflicts between them, and if we expect them that during the tough times they should be together and during the happy times they should be fighting with each other, that equation never really lasts for long. So expecting joint family to be together at this time, when things have never been very cordial amongst each other, then in that case I feel that अगर nuclear setup ज़्यादा suit किया है किसी को, then go ahead with that, because at least आपकी responsibility भी उसमें कम हो जाती है and you are more at peace with each other. If there are 2 or 3 members in the house, or maximum 4 members in the house, so you can understand the responsibilities are also shared between the 4 of them. And if there are say 20 members in the house, a lot of times it happens that most of the responsibilities are only given to the people who have always been doing it. So that adds to more conflicts also. And again, the space also matters a lot in this time where people at times require their space and they don't get it. Like cities like Mumbai, I am hearing a lot of people are in the cramped spaces. That in fact adds to the psychological problems because
Right.
they are not comfortable with each other all the time. Because earlier क्या होता था कि half of the family members used to be out of the house आधे दिन के लिए और फिर वो घर में आ रहे हैं. बट यहाँ तो क्या होगा कि सारे मेंबर्स साथ में ही हैं,
24/7.
हर एक की डिमांड्स इक्वली फुलफिल हो रही है. So I think it's to each one its own. If the family relations are cordial, having a joint family setup is a very good and nice way to be together and to support each other. There is a good hand holding there. And if you have always been comfortable in the nuclear, because a lot of people are happy in their zone. उनको
Yes.
अपना म्यूजिक, उनका रीडिंग, उनका आर्ट या उनका बिंज वॉचिंग पसंद है. So expecting them to come out of that zone and be with others is like again hampering their mental sanity.
Right.
So however, whoever, I mean, whatever works for whoever, I think they should go ahead with that. But understand कि थोड़े से hiccups अभी लगेंगे. But if you maintain good relations, वो अपने आप peaceful हो जाते हैं.
Okay. So my COVID-related question end here. Now I would like to come to a very graver issue, which is the idea of counseling and penetrating the societal stone walls. So my next question is in that direction, that everybody of us understands very well the importance of declogging our internal feelings, but everybody is afraid to do so. Do you consider our social setup is responsible for it?
Partially, yes, because
Okay.
I'm seeing a good shift also lately. Because 12 साल पहले when I started practicing, I saw only severe clinical issues would go to psychologist or psychiatrist. In fact, severe issues में we strongly recommend the dual approach works way better. Medicine and counseling both work way better than just any one single approach. So earlier ऐसा था, but slowly I am seeing this shift, and thanks to our newer generation. बिकॉज मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि जो अभी के पेरेंट्स हैं वो शायद खुद के लिए नहीं हेल्प ले, बट अपने बच्चों के लिए डेफिनेटली दे वांट द बेस्ट फॉर देयर चिल्ड्रन एंड दे कैन अफोर्ड द बेस्ट.
Oh. I might have lost her again. Yeah, you are back. Sorry, I just lost you for a while due to some internet thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So again, earlier things were different, and now I'm seeing that parents want the best for their children, so they are approaching and they are ready to take whatever help, even at a milder level or at a moderate level. So thankfully, the shift has come. But I strongly feel that one thing that people are underplaying psychology is the development.
Right.
Evolution of psychology is the development. So human mind or emotions, or you say even our physiological development, everything is connected with psychology. So ऐसा नहीं है कि हमें psychologist की या psychiatrist की need पड़ती है only when there is a problem. We can and we should take help when even when we want to grow in our life, or we want to add some more value to our life, or if we want to be more motivated towards something. So I think now people are shifting this. The stigma is gradually reducing, but of course we all need to work towards it more. And I think I mean, people are changing. The newer generation is, I mean, I remember 12 years back there were very few psychologists working in Surat, but now slowly the number is increasing. The newer generation is coming up, and the hope that they are getting into this field, I see a good shift coming in. But honestly, taking help is not something really bad. Taking help is not something which should be stigmatized at all. So when we are ready to take help for our physiological issues, आज अगर कोविड इतना चल रहा है और हम रेजिस्टेंट हो जाए कि हमें हेल्प ही नहीं लेनी है, so how will we manage this entire pandemic? Today, the world has come together. They have started uniting with each other. The scientists are working everywhere together. There are no boundaries in their work. So when they at their level are not resisting from taking any help, so why human being at a very nominal level should resist? So taking help is a great way to not only heal but also to grow. So yeah, we are working towards it, and I think slowly the shift will manifest and it will be quite more visible. But I'm happy that shift has started and shift is doing really well.
Definitely help. Taking help is a very nice thing. Whenever you are in need, it's nothing wrong. But there is one internal devil telling us that, yeah, you're completely audible. Am I audible, ma'am? Are you able to hear me?
Your voice is cracking.
Okay.
So Audi and Bull has become a part.
Okay. Now am I clear? Am I able to reach to you?
I can hear you.
Okay. Mm, my viewers are telling that I am audible, but is it reaching
So
you?
happy that internet issues are not only at my side.
I'm telling you, the whole world is on the internet. But now, is it good that am I reaching you? Okay.
I think. Yeah. Am I audible now?
Let me do one thing. Let me log out and log in again. Will that help?
Oh, I don't mind if you do it, but I guess now am I audible? What do you do?
You are audible, but not very clearly.
Okay, so you just log out because I can't end the chat right now because
Yeah. I'll log out and log in again.
yeah, please. Sorry, viewers, there is some technical glitch which can happen at any point of time. That's perfectly fine. Yeah, ma'am is here. Let me just add. Yes, ma'am. Am I audible now?
Yes, I am
Oh,
back.
okay. So I was there that
Yes, you
taking
are
help is definitely a good thing. Whenever you are in need, you should always take the help. But there is one internal devil.
Gaurav is great with these tech issues. He will always have some answers.
Yes. So what I
Thanks,
was telling
Gaurav.
that, yeah. Uh, thank you all viewers for your lovely comments. So ma'am, can I continue now? Am I audible? Is my voice reaching you, ma'am?
No.
Oh, then let me just end this.
Now you're audible. Now you're audible.
Oh, okay. But I lost you again.
Yes,
Okay.
please.
Okay. Let me begin. That taking help is definitely good. I understand that. But there is one internal devil that is telling us that consulting a psychologist or a psychiatrist will mean that I am mad. This is general perception of people. So can you please explain for the sake of the viewers various branches so that they can get more clarity as to what help you require at what stage?
So a psychologist is in a position to help you at 4 stages. One is a
Right.
disorder, which is very evidently visible. Like when we say mad, it was more like a feeble-minded people, or it was people who were whose intelligence is very low and they cannot really manage their life well, and their behaviors manifest in a manner which appears to be mad. Of course, mad is a very slang word here. So that is one area. Again, disorders like severe anxiety, severe depression, schizophrenia, all of these things which upfront appear that people have certain grave issues and it is very evidently visible to the public. Second area where a psychologist can help is the differences or distance, I would say. So most of the relationship issues come here. Now, relationship does not always mean only husband wife. Even our business relations or family relations or any sort of relations fall under this category. So any kind of distress or any kind of distance, this is a second area where a psychologist comes into the picture. So working with both their mindsets and trying to sync it for people for healthier living. Third area where we see is the personal distress that person is not comfortable within. A lot of personality issues we see here. A lot of things where a person is not comfortable in his or her own skin. Even as simple as body image issues or any such issues which are not very evidently visible, but it is there and it is bothering the person and person is not very comfortable everywhere. So working at the comfort level of people. And the fourth area which I think is underplayed is the development. So psychologist is in a position to help person grow. So a lot of students who come to us for career counseling or career guidelines, they are actually coming to receive some help to grow better. They are
Right.
coming to us to have certain guidelines to develop themselves better. A lot of motivational things that psychologists do, they are actually working in the area of development. So depending on whichever area a person requires, psychologist help can be used there. And honestly, a human being should or sometimes will fall in most of the areas or any one area. Even I take personal sessions for my own development. My development
Right.
might be in the field of my own work, but I do need sessions to grow. I do need sessions to develop myself. I do need sessions to motivate myself to work better in my own field or to do better for myself. So I think each and every human being is should be approaching psychologist at some phase of life.
Yeah. So please, viewers, keep this in mind that psychology or visiting a psychologist does not always mean that you have some problems going around in your life. It's sometimes that vagueness in your mind, or you can say that non-clarity. You can just empty yourselves out, and you can get ready for the next course of action in your life. So please consult a psychologist, and not only for the disorder related issues, but you can routinely just make it a habit of visiting a psychologist. Now, moving on to my next question, ma'am, that in a medical situation, supposedly I met with an accident, there is always thing called first aid, means the first primary treatment which is given to a patient. In such psychological things, what can be the first thing, or you can say the first aid which a person should opt for?
It is like when we are injured, we see where is the injury, in which part of the body, whether it requires some help, it requires just simply cleaning it, or it requires bandaging it, or it requires higher need or higher
Yes.
professional help. So in psychology, I would say connecting with your thoughts is the first step towards any kind of problem. So for example, something is disturbing me, something is making me angry, I am not probably happy within. So what are my thoughts? So
Hmm.
first bridge or first step towards any psychological first aid is to connect with our thoughts. It is not the world, or it is not the situation, or it is not the people who can trigger any of our emotion, which is a myth. It is our thought associated with that situation. It is our thought associated with that person which can trigger any emotion in us. Like I don't think that human beings are born with remote control. Nobody in this world will have a remote control to just press a button and make me angry, press a button and make me depressed, press a button and make me unhappy. It is my view, my perception, my thoughts towards everything around me, which can trigger any emotion within me. So,
Right.
first aid towards psychology, or first step towards understanding psychology, is connecting with our own thoughts. Once
Right.
we start doing that, it becomes much easier to start introspecting than finding the solutions outside always. And automatically the view towards world and people will change.
Yes. So, my viewers, check your thoughts, and wherever you need help, consult a psychologist. That ends my second topic. My next topic is for our younger generations. There is a debate going on that we are not preparing our generations in the right manner. So, my next questions will be towards how to develop the younger generations. And you have very well mentioned in your earlier answers. So, my first question is, it's no secret that the future generations are very intelligent and industrious. But what tips you will have for them in the area of mental wellness?
In the area of mental wellness towards younger generation, I would say that one beautiful thing that I'm seeing in them is that they are uniting very well. The younger generation is not keeping any bars, any cultural bars, any societal bars, or any bars related to even countries. So younger generation is going out and working. Other people are coming to India. They are joining and working. A lot of technology is helping them to do. So the way practically people have started binding with each other, same way, if we start binding emotionally with their culture, emotionally with their needs, and vice versa, it will help create a very synchronized and a happy place and happy world around us. I think here I would want to connect a little bit of spirituality and mental health again, because I think younger generation is constantly working towards becoming smarter, becoming intellectual, becoming adaptive to new things, becoming learning a lot they are learning. I would say their capacity of learning is way higher than what previous generation was able to do. But at the same time, if they start connecting little bit of empathy, little bit of connect with the people around them, as I said, that connecting with our thoughts, connecting with another person's thought, that will also make a happier place around them, and that will make the entire world be more connected with each other. As we see a lot of people, like I gave the example, okay, a lot of scientists today are working together. There is no boundary now कि रशिया से कोई काम कर रहा है तो कोई यूएस से काम कर रहा है, कोई इंडिया से काम कर रहा है. बट दे डू नॉट कीप दीज बाउंड्रीज के नहीं ये तो हमारा ही है. अगर वैक्सीन बनने की बात हो रही है तो इट इज फॉर द एंटायर वर्ल्ड.
Humanity,
सेम
right?
वे अगर हमारी यंगर जनरेशन ह्यूमैनिटी की तरफ थोड़ा एक एक स्टेप लेना चालू करेगी, so they will not only be practically intellectual, but they will also be emotionally intellectual. So working on the EQ along with their IQ will become a healthier and a complete package for the world.
So,
Because
apart
again,
from
I see a
social,
lot of people who are technologically sound, they do face a lot of issues in managing their emotions. They face a lot of differences with people when they actually go into the working world.
right?
So this is something which they can start getting trained beforehand. And I strongly recommend all the schools. In fact, I would strongly want to recommend the education system to add some element of emotional quotient or emotional understanding in the schools itself, so they grow to be a better human being.
Right. So, don't you think this social media presence, then this gadgets and all, like you said, the quest for learning is dominant factor in their behavioral patterns. So, how you said that their emotional quotient needs to be worked on. So, definitely, how to include that in the curriculum means from supposedly at the very initial stages, how to start for the parents. Let's start with the parents point. Afterwards, we will take up on schools, but parents, how do they start doing it?
I think this is the very right time to start working on it, because parents have time to spend with their children and families are spending a little more time with each other. So, keeping this family circle time wherein everybody is heard, everybody's thoughts are put forward, so that children start understanding the connect between the behavior and thoughts. because what is happening is social media or any such enhancement is just giving them little boost outward. Like what I achieve, I put on social media. What I want, I ask from social media. But what am I thinking about these achievements is never put across. So if
Right.
family start making a circle and spending some time with each other to talk more about their emotions and more about their thoughts, that is a nicer way to start introducing thoughts and emotions to children. Second, simpler way is again deconnecting from the social media, deconnecting from the media to just receive achievements or to just see our rewards. So, what have I learned within? Intrinsic learning, intrinsic upliftment. For example, if my child is achieving something and if I connect with how that child is feeling after the achievement, then just the receiving of that award, that will help them go inward. That this was my feeling when I did something good, this was my feeling when I did something wrong, this is how I felt when I hit somebody. So talking about feelings with children on regular basis. And second, I think it is the need of the hour is a little bit of pranayam and meditation, which is very very helpful for children to settle down, because most of children today with a lot of exposure are very impulsive. They are
Right.
hyper, they are impulsive. So having again a family time where all family members are doing some pranayam together or some breathing technique or something which is just helping the child to settle down. And
Right.
gradually if we can practice it twice in a day, if they are practicing some sort of yoga, children are amazing at yoga postures. So if we introduce breathing along with yoga, it will be very very helpful for children to start going inward. So I think this journey of going inward is good enough beginning. And then slowly children will be able to understand a lot more about empathy, a lot more about connectivity with people. And if the child is showing curiosity, we can expose them to many of such things.
Ma'am, ma'am, there is a problem with your reception. We are losing you. We are getting you only in parts. I guess there is a deeper network related issue on the ma'am's side. So we are not able to get her insights, valuable insights. There is some lag which we are noticing. Yeah, ma'am, there is some lag, huh? So we lost you completely, actually. Okay, okay. Sorry, viewers, for this very intriguing session, but definitely internet is playing a spoiled sport. But I definitely honor and respect the patience you are showing, and definitely, ma'am will be online in few minutes or seconds. But thank you for your intense patience in dealing with this technological stuff. I'm just waiting for Bhavna ma'am to enter the chat again so that I can add her as the participant. But looking back, she gave some very beautiful insights wherein I would like to summarize that parents are the first school, which is nothing new, which I'm telling. But once the parents start implementing these things and setting up this system, that will definitely create a unique environment in your home, and people will become more emotionally free to express. And this is what the new generation is lacking. They're tech savvy, they are very knowledgeable, but their emotional quotient is taking the great beating. Sorry, ma'am, I was summarizing your points. We lost you completely in your last answer. So if you can just recollect your thoughts and say it again, then it will be great honor.
Okay. So am I audible?
Yes, yes, yes.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. You are audible. But there is, I guess, there is a lag in the
Okay.
sound.
So I
My
was
voice is
saying
reaching
that
late to
the
you.
more we talk to children,
I guess again we are losing, ma'am.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So as I was saying that if we, yeah, now am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I was saying that if we help children connect to their feelings on regular basis, talk more about their feelings than just the achievements and rewards and whatever their behavior is, behind behavior is always some feelings. So if family members together can talk about it, that is one nice way to help children connect within. Second is, as I said, that if the family is used to doing some pranayam or some breathing exercises together, that helps their reduce their impulsivity and also hyperactivity to a great extent, because a lot of children, because of a lot of media exposure, screen exposure, are getting very impulsive. For example, right now if we see that we lost our connectivity about 3 or 4 times, but as an adult we have that little patience to to come back or to go through that little hurdle. But children are not that patient nowadays. They want quick fixes, they want solutions immediately. So breathing exercises definitely help them a lot to develop that patience. So if family together can do some things, and especially in this time of pandemic, where breathing exercises have anyways become very important for our lungs too. So I think connecting and making it a habit, since children are going to be with us for next few months and they are not going to go out of the house. So, developing these practices within and then continuing it always is going to be very helpful for children. So breathing exercises, talking about feelings on regular basis, and at the same time listening to children, because I
Right.
think parents usually make this flaw that they don't listen to their children enough. Either they are busy or they don't find children's words to be very important. Of course they are not never going to cognitively talk as important as an adult is, but listening to them helps them unclutter themselves a lot. So if we have these pockets throughout the day where they are off social media and connecting more with their inside, then automatically we are trying to balance both. So we are not just exposing them to screen all the time, we are also giving them a lot of activities which are done within each other, with each other, and at the same time we are teaching them a lot of little things which they can be using for life.
Nice. Now my next question is really important because definitely you can throw greater light on the future parents and the existing parents. Our earlier generations compelled us children to score big and instilled that the success is the only option and nothing at all. So I would like to now take a different path. That success is definitely good, but I would like to train our future generation that yeah, it is good to embrace the failures as well. How to start doing that?
By exposing them to failures in on regular basis, by
Uh huh.
showing them failure. One mistake that I see parents regularly do is when a child is small and they start playing game with each other, and usually parent wants child to win.
Win.
So that is one thing which I am absolutely against. Be more realistic. Let child develop his or her own skill. his or on her own strategy to win than showing them just the winning part and not the losing part. So let the child lose sometimes, because it helps them understand how to lose healthily. So that
Right.
is one thing. Also exposing them to higher challenges. Never expose children only to challenges which they are good at. Then technically
Right.
we are not helping them grow. We are just maintaining them. So put
Right.
them into challenges where you know that the child is going to come back hurt, child is going to come back angry, child is going to come back home with that disappointment that, I lost it. Let child sometimes come and speak to you that I don't want to go to this game anymore because I am losing it. That is where
Mm-hmm.
the opportunity of teaching them how to take loss comes. So
Wow.
I think parents, we have to together understand this, that exposing children to loss is actually helping them grow.
Right.
So
So
never just expose them to growth and winning. Winning is not the only growth. In fact, winning is just maintenance. Winning
right.
is just sustenance.
So all those parents, I know you are very sincere and very much busy in securing the outer perimeter of your child's life. That is good food, good education, good car, good house, everything. But your child needs you there in the internal zone as well. Like ma'am said, train them for success, but better train them for failures as well, so they can grow. Because in tough times, definitely everybody grows. So let your child do the same. Don't just create a cakewalk for everything. Man is telling you, expose them to failures so that they can devise their own strategy. And that was definitely, I will also keep in mind, since soon I am also going to be a father. So I will keep all these valuable insights from you and try to put it into practice on regular basis. So that was an amazing session. Definitely few internet lags has caused certain troubles between the free flowing interaction. But if you allow me, let me just go through the comment section. If anyone has some suggestion or some question, I can definitely take that up. Uh, Thank you for your patience. I just go through it. One comment is there, but don't you think we are much open to talking about mental problems? Question mark. They might not be comfortable discussing it in public. Maybe the judgmental behavior plays a big role. I exactly lost the context of it, but definitely you can keep the heartline of it. That public speaking or talking to stranger about your issues, it makes them more. You can say that introvert. So, what are your views on that?
Not really. When you are meeting a therapist, when you are meeting a professional, you are definitely not disclosing everything to public. Like when I go to my financial consultant, it is only my financial consultant and myself who knows about the balance sheet. We do
Right.
not really put it on that. Talk about your emotional health. You are actually sharing it with somebody who is actually the right person to judge. He or she is qualified to judge it. So you're actually
Right.
telling to the person to be judged better and work out something of it. So if you are reluctant of being judged also by professionals, then definitely you are again taking a step backward, not forward.
Okay. Definitely the viewer will take it in mind. Second is please suggest foods and supplements that can help keep calm, composure, and uplifted mood. Mr. Gaurav Duggal has asked this.
Gaurav, definitely, I am not the right person to suggest anything in terms of medicines or supplements for it. I think we should approach again professionals for it. If the person wants some simple medicines, they can or simple herbs, we can approach Ayurveda. If a person is more comfortable with homeopathy, it's a better idea to go to a homeopathic doctor and chalk down something for ourselves. And if you think the problem is severe, then of course reaching out to an allopathic doctor, because allopathy medicines are more potent, they give stronger results, they give results immediately. So I think here taking a professional help is the right thing than going haywire. Beyond that, I think Ministry of Ayush has already given us good guidelines and people are following it, and I recommend to follow. In fact, download the app and see whatever their guidelines is to help in this situation. So they have already given us certain drugs which are helpful during this pandemic situation. So I guess going to right people is more worthwhile in this.
Okay, a last question I received while we were discussing the child and parent connection is that what if they take it in a wrong way, that my parents are telling me or forcing me to participate in something which I don't like or I don't want to. In such scenario, how a parent should behave.
The whole idea is to teach them how to take it. The whole
Yeah,
idea is to make them learn how to take things which are difficult, how to learn things which are not very comfortable, how to do things which are not appealing to the child. So technically we are working on how to take it, then making them do it. So it is not the activity per se which is important, it is teaching the child perception behind those activities.
okay, that was a very interesting interaction with Bhavna Raja, a psychologist, and definitely very deep insight which all of us can use or practice in our day to day life to keep ourselves and our minds decluttered. Thank you for your what you can say valuable time, because I took much of it and the internet took much of it, but it was pleasure talking to you.
Thanks a lot, Jevi, for having me. I definitely enjoyed, and I love the way your questions were formed and the way questions flow was going. It was amazing. And I generally don't speak so much, but this time I really enjoyed, and I think I was enjoying each and every question. So thanks a lot for having me, and keep it up. Keep doing these talk shows. I think this is also one of the way to declutter.
Exactly. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much for your time. And I request my viewers that for all the apologies for all the lags and internet related issues, but I hope that you have taken some valuable insights today. We will come again on next Saturday with some other selling, very, what you can say, jewel of Surat city, which I generally tell to my friends that I'm talking with the hidden jewels of Surat city. So you being one of them, thank you for your time, and viewers, thank you for being so patient.
Thanks for elating my mood. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.